Everything is going great for the New York Yankees. They keep winning. They've won 6 in a row. They're 30 games over 500. A lot of reasons for celebrations, but they don't want to stop there. They're greedy. They want more, and it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the final game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. The Yankees had it all lined up to try to sweep this series. Luis Severino was going to be the starter, but he is now on COVID protocol. He does not have COVID, but he's on the COVID protocol IL, so the Yankees have to go with an emergency starter. Let's take a look right now at the pitching matchup. Jalen Beek's going to be the opener for Tampa Bay. He's pitched well out of the bullpen, 1.38 ERA. And for the Yankees, Clark Schmidt gets the start. Now, he's a starter by trade, but obviously he's been pitching out of the bullpen for the Yanks, David.
Well, the Yankees organization has tremendous depth, but Clark Schmidt is here. He's ready to go. You know, you had J.P. Sears down in the minor leagues. They have a couple of other power arms that would be interesting to see, but Clark Schmidt deserves the shot. And his curveball slider combination has been really devastating this year, and a mid-90s fastball that he can spot. But he's done a really solid job for the Yankees so far this year out of the bullpen, and this will be his 3rd career start tonight.
Well, the numbers to this Yankee team, they're really hard to grasp. 46-16, that's the best 62-game start in the majors in over 20 years. The Mariners were 49-13 in 01. 30 games above 500 in 62 games. That's the 5th fastest to get to that mark in team history. And the 13-game home win streak here in the Bronx, the longest by the Yankees since 1973, and in that streak, Bobby Mercer hit .440 during that 13-game win streak, so the Yankees are looking for number 14 tonight. Everything's been great. It's been unbelievable. The Yankees are just playing perfect baseball. Pitching, defense, home runs. And you know what? They're feeling it. What are they saying about it? We find out when Meredith Marakovits returns in just a moment on Yes.
Yankees baseball on Yes. Tonight, the Yankees will go for their 8th sweep of the season. Series finale between the Rays and the Yankees coming your way in just a few minutes. Hey, everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovits. This Yankees team just continues to roll. They're now winners of 6 in a row, 13 straight here in the Bronx, and they are 30 games above 500, the owners of the best record in baseball. So far, manager Aaron Boone has been enjoying this ride.
They've found ways to win. You know, obviously we have some guys that are having great starts to their season individually, but everyone in that room has contributed in so many different ways. You know, defensively, running the bases, out of the pen, starting rotation, just a lot of different ways. We've been able to win games, and I think that gives everyone a lot of confidence going into each day, knowing, you know, we don't have to do it just one way.
I think we were just talking about it in the lunchroom where it's like 30 games over 500, but I mean, we don't expect anything less. I think with this group of guys that we have here, it's pretty special, and I think we can continue to do big things.
You know, I think we're more focused on the next game. You know, the record and what we've done so far has been great, but I think what makes this team special, like I've been saying, is, you know, we're worried about the next game now. You know, tonight's over with. You know, we'll celebrate this, but you know, we got another big one, you know, go out there and try to sweep these guys.
And Aaron Judge is certainly a huge reason why this team has had success this season. He has blasted 25 home runs in the first 62 games this year. He remains in the lineup in center field, batting second for the Yankees this evening. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by David Cohn. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Yankee Stadium. Let's take a look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. It's 69 degrees, 15% chance of rain. Humidity is high at 75%, and the wind is out of the south at 14 miles per hour. As you can see, the Yankees have taken the field. Clark Schmidt is taking his warm-ups, and we'll take a look at the Rays starting lineup. Brought to you by TikTok. TikTok taught me. Vidal Brujan, second baseman, leads off. Manuel Margot, the DH, at second. G-Man Choi is a 13-game hitting streak. He's playing first base, hitting third. Cleaning up third baseman Yandy Diaz. Randy Arozarena in left field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing center field, Brett Phillips. Harold Ramirez in right field will bat 7th. The number 8 hitter is the catcher Francisco Mejia, and Taylor Walls, the shortstop, will bat 9th.
And against that lineup, Clark Schmidt towing the slab in the boogie down here tonight. It's been a solid year for him, although maybe the walks to strikeouts ratio could be a little bit better, but he's got good stuff. And in our scouting report, he is pushed into duty. I think it's been well reported so far that Luis Severino is in COVID protocol, although he has not tested positive. He's not going to pitch tonight, obviously, but Clark Schmidt's slider curveball combo really has been good. And he's probably going to be due for about 50 pitches tonight, Michael.
Yankees are hoping that gets them through the lineup and maybe a little bit more, and then they'll work it out through the bullpen. Brujan's ready. Schmidt is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. Swing and a miss. We're underway. Now as for Severino, I spoke to Aaron Boone. He said Severino really felt ill last night. He said, but when he called him earlier today, he felt so much better. So they're hoping that it's not a long illness. There's a strike. As David said, Schmidt has good stuff. And really, he wants to be a starter, but I think he'd rather be in the big leagues working out of the bullpen than starting. But that's his hope for his career, is to be a starter. 1-2.
Pumped up tonight, up to 97 miles an hour on his second fastball.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Brujan. One away. Look at the defense behind Schmidt, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. In the outfield, it's Hicks in left. The center fielder is Aaron Judge. Joey Gallows in right. Infield, Donaldson, Kiner Falefa, LeMahieu, and Rizzo. That's third and first. Trevino behind the plate, and Schmidt is on the mound. So here's Margot. Has a mini 5-game hitting streak. And the first pitch inside. Mark Ripperger is the home plate umpire. The crew chief, Phil Cuzzy, at first. Malachi Moore at second. And Corey Blazer is the third base ump. Yeah. 2-0. Grounded to short. Kiner Falefa across the diamond. 2 away. All right, David, time for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, it's going to be one of those nights. It's a bullpenning kind of a game on both sides. Not by choice on the Yankee side. Obviously, Michael told you about Severino, but on the Tampa Bay side, too, they've had some injuries that have forced them into a bullpen game. And the boogie down streak, we talked about the Yankees at home really playing well. 13 in a row. It's on the line. So is G-Man Choi's streak. He's got a 13-game hitting streak. And right on cue, he's in the batter's box.
13-game streak, hitting .348 during the streak. Also, he's #1 in the major leagues hitting with runners in scoring position. 21 for 47. That's .447. Pitch misses outside. 1-0. Now, obviously, Schmidt wants to get through innings economically, pitch-wise, and this way he can stay in the game longer. There's a strike. And you see Jalen Beeks is going to start for the Rays, and he's a true reliever because he's warming up in the bullpen, and he'll jog in when the Rays take the field in the bottom of the first.
He's probably good for 40 to 50 pitches as well, Jalen Beeks. So both starting pitchers tonight will have limited pitch counts.
Two and two. And you can see Choi was asking Rippinger, was that a ball?
I hate it when hitters do that. It's information they don't need to have. I can't get it if I'm on the mound.
If they ever go robotic, they can't talk to the robots.
There you go. It always bothered me. Was that a good pitch? Was that a strike? A couple of decent changeups from Clark Schmidt in this inning. One right there to Choi. Kind of a pitch and kind of in the making for him as he's learning on the fly.
3-2. Choi's a good hitter. He does make a pitcher work. You earn that out. Did he go? Well, Schmidt thought so. He was heading toward the Yankee dugout, but it's a walk.
Another changeup, kind of a power changeup that Schmidt features at 91 miles an hour. Runs off the plate.
Well, that brings up Diaz. Upstairs. Slider didn't break the way he wanted it to. 1-0. Choi held there by Rizzo at first. 1-1. Let's take a look at the scouting report on the home plate umpire. Pitcher friendly. More outside strikes and more low strikes. Rippinger in his 13th big league season.
You know, my theory on umpires, Michael, is I bet you all of these umpires played baseball at some point in their career. I bet he was a pitcher. Pretty safe bet. Umpires that were hitters in their amateur career usually are more hitter friendly.
Now we're going to have that as part of the scouting report. He holds up, according to Phil Cuzzy.
I mean, all these umpires, it's not like they woke up in Little League saying, I want to be an umpire, right? They were ball players first. We get a look there. And the overhead cam would have been a double.
A ringing double. Ground ball and a base hit to right field. Choi advances to second. Gallo gets the ball in. So Diaz with a single, first and second, 2 men out, and a Rosarena coming up.
One pitch from being out of this inning, and now you got a little bit of a pickle. Diaz is a good hitter, good contact hitter, finds the hole. First and second, going to increase your pitch count in this first inning and also try to limit the damage here with the runner in scoring position.
This is Schmidt's third career start. He made one in each of the previous 2 years. And what's strange about Schmidt starting is the hallmark of this Yankee staff is that they take the ball every 5 days. So only 3 other men have started for the Yankees this year other than the starting 5. It's Luis Gil 1 game, J.P. Sears 1 game, and now Schmidt. The Yankees also made a roster move with Severino on the COVID IL. They called up Ryan Weber from AAA. Veteran, 31 years old, 8th big league season. Schmidt was already on the roster as a reliever. Ground ball is short. They go the short way, and that'll do it. So Schmidt works into and out of trouble. Ray Strand 2. Yankees coming to bat. The Yankee starting lineup brought to you by TikTok. TikTok taught me. DJ LeMahieu, the second baseman, leads off. Center fielder is Aaron Judge. Anthony Rizzo at first. Cleaning up the DH, Giancarlo Stanton. Josh Donaldson at third base, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the left fielder Aaron Hicks. Isaiah Kiner, Falefa, the shortstop, bats seventh. Hitting eighth, the catcher is Jose Trevino, and Joey Gallo in right field will bat ninth.
And that Yankee lineup will face this left-hander, Jalen Beeks. You see, this will be his second start, so it's not foreign to him, but he's been solid this year. That low ERA, 32 strikeouts in 26 innings, has given up 3 home runs. And our pitcher scouting report, he really is predominantly a fastball changeup combo pitcher. He really hides the ball well. His arm action, he kind of drops it right behind his body, short arms, and by the time the hitter picks it up, it's almost on top of them. And he's had good contact management. He's in the top 5 percentile in terms of exit velocity this year.
Season highs for him, 2 1/3 inning and 43 pitches. Works from the third base side of the rubber. I mean the extreme third base side of the rubber. Only his toe seems to be on that slab. And a strike. Drew Rasmussen was supposed to start this one. He went on the IL yesterday with a left hamstring strain. Rasmussen said he thought he could pitch. He said, but the organization is looking out for my long-term health.
It's almost like he takes the ball out of his glove, Michael, and like puts it in his hip pocket. Just kind of holds it right there behind his body and then right to the release point.
Fouled away.
Check out this motion right out of the glove. Let me just hold it right there and hide it, and then right up and out. Very effective.
Chopped to third. Diaz. 1 away. Take a look at the defense for Tampa Bay, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. We'll see how they're lined up. They've allowed 43 unearned runs. And back in 2007, the then Devil Rays allowed 43 unearned runs at the All-Star break. Last year, this defense allowed just 58 unearned runs, so this is very un-Tampa Bay-like. Only team who has allowed more unearned runs, the White Sox with 44. Right back to Beeks. StatCast 3D, Google Cloud, taking a look at Beeks' arsenal.
You can see the cutter and the slider are sort of afterthoughts. Occasionally thrown, but it's really predominantly front to back style. Four-seamer, changeup.
Rizzo takes a strike. Good production numbers, 15 home runs, 41 ribbies.
It's a very modern line, isn't it? Damage, low batting average, high OPS because of the damage.
1-2. Now, Beeks made his major league debut in June of 2018 with the Red Sox. Pitched in 2 games, and then he was traded to the Rays for Nathan Eovaldi. And the Red Sox would make that trade again. Eovaldi helped them win a World Series. Hit sharply to center field. Phillips backpedals, makes the play, and the Yankees go down in order against Beeks. We played 1 at the stadium. 0-0 here on Yes.
Instead, he has been placed on the COVID IL. He has not actually tested positive for COVID. Aaron Boone said a couple of rapid tests came back negative. He did have a PCR. They should know the results of that later this evening. But Severino has been throwing the ball extremely well. He was coming off back-to-back 10 strikeout appearances. The Yankees are hoping that he is not out too long. And that is tonight's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore, state-of-the-art healthcare in New York City, Westchester, and the Hudson Valley.
Thank you, Meredith. We go to the second inning. Brett Phillips leads off. 1-0. Phillips has struggled at the plate for most of the year. He is 2 for his last 40 with 22 strikeouts. When the Yankees were in St. Pete a couple weeks ago, the thought was that he had figured things out. He had been striking out an awful lot. Then he had a stretch where he hit well, but right back to struggling. He's filling in for Kevin Kiermaier, who is being bothered by an inflamed Achilles. He's still not on the IL. He's on the bench. Another strikeout of Phillips, 1 away.
We mentioned Clark Smith was a #1 pick of the Yankees, and a lot of it has to do with his well above average stuff. This has got over 3,000 RPMs on this curveball right here. That is well above average. When you're getting up to that kind of spin rate on a breaking ball, you're in an elite category.
Here's Ramirez, and there's a strike.
So just a real tight spinning breaking ball package from Schmidt.
Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. 3rd strikeout for Schmidt.
Good fastball to go with it. You were right, Michael. The 2-seamer runs in. 95 miles an hour with a little bit of run on it. Started out on the plate, finishes off the plate. Very effective.
Mejia takes upstairs. Mejia also slumping. Not much offense for the Rays. He is 2 for his last 29. And Mike Zunino, their valuable catcher, is out with a left shoulder issue. They don't know when he's getting back. So Mejia is the regular catcher for the Rays. Switch hitter. One and 2. Three strikeouts for Schmidt. Bounces that one. 2-2. Taylor Walls is on deck. Got a piece to stay alive.
It's not just about the spin rate on that knuckle curve either, Michael. It's the shape of the pitch, too. Gets a lot of horizontal movement on it as well, which helps his swing and miss profile. When you're trying to evaluate pitches, Michael, you know, there's an art to it. It's sort of you're trying to compare to other pitchers that have similar velocity, similar spin rate. With Clark Schmidt, he gets 8 inches more than average horizontal movement on that knuckle curve. So not only is it spinning really tightly above 3,000 RPMs, it also breaks well above average compared to other curveballs like his.
There it was again. When you're on a somewhat strict pitch count, the last thing you want is extended bats, and that's the second time it's happened now. So he's at 35, and he's probably on a limit of about 50. Two. Another foul ball. Second inning here at the stadium. Nothing. Another foul ball.
You know, these are the frustrating ones for you when you're out there on the mound. You keep making pitch after pitch. Put it in play or swing and miss. Tenth pitch coming.
Line drive caught by Rizzo. So a 1-2-3 inning for Schmidt and the Yankees. Nothing. We go to the bottom of the third. Brought to you in part by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. By Cadillac. Be bold and be yourself in a luxurious Cadillac sedan or SUV. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. By Burke Rehabilitation. Get back in action with Burke. And by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Dramatic coloring here of Yankee Stadium as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Nothing. Yankees one down in order against Beeks in the first. Now Stanton leads off here in the second. And a strike. Oh, and 2.
Stanton's still kind of looking to get that line drive stroke back again. Start to barrel it up since he's come back from the injury. Still kind of getting on base. He's still having decent at-bats, but he hasn't really had that same stroke, or certainly the ability to really drive the ball like we saw before he went on the IL for about 10 days or so.
Now, over a long stretch, 5 hits and 41 at-bats. Remember, I think he was 0 for 13 when he went on the IL. Grounded to first. Choi. 1 away. There's Josh Donaldson. Yankees trying for another win against a winning team. They are 17-7 against winning teams. That's a .708 winning percentage. By far the best of any team in baseball. Now the Mets have done well against winning teams, 24-15, but that's just a .615 winning percentage. So one of the knocks you always hear about the Yankees' great start, well, really, who have they played? Well, they've played who's put in front of them, and the winning teams that they have played, they've beaten at a 70% plus rate. 0-2.
Just seems like things are just going the Yankees' way. I know you mentioned it in the pregame, so did Meredith. Baltimore knocks off Toronto today, earlier. Boston lost.
Well, right now, David, if the season ended, the 3 wildcard teams would come out of the East. And I wonder if that's going to hold up, because these teams are good and they might cannibalize each other, and maybe somebody from the Central or the West could sneak in.
It's a great point. And Baltimore's no pushover this year like they have been.
As Donaldson swings and misses, well, of the Yankees' 2 series losses, one of them is to the Orioles and the other one's to the White Sox.
They have much better pitching this year, do the Orioles.
Here's Aaron Hicks. Bruhan shades up the middle. Foul back.
The best deal in mobile. Get unlimited for only $29.99. Visit SpectrumMobile.com.
Now I'm told with the Red Sox loss, the Guardians have now jumped the Red Sox. So the 3 would not come out of the East. The Guardians and then the Rays and the Blue Jays. One and one. Still kind of think the White Sox are going to be heard from as well. Fly ball, center field, Phillips, and the Yankees go down in order again. And we'll go to the 3rd inning at 0-0. Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture was submitted by Frank. Last Friday, Kyle Higashioka made his daughter's night by tossing her a ball from the dugout. Well, Kyle, you made a friend for life, a fan for life. Great shot. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Now we go to the 3rd inning here at the stadium. Final game of this 3-game set. Yankees looking for the sweep. Clark Schmidt in an emergency start with Luis Severino falling ill last night. Feeling much better today, but did not make the start and was moved to the COVID IL. There's a strike.
There's Weber, right up and right to work.
Strike 3. Walls down looking. 4 strikeouts for Schmidt.
No messing around. Right after him. Got a lot of plate with that fastball. As Walls was looking for that good curve and did not get it. Schmidt's got a little pep in his step. He definitely wants to be a starter. A little different rhythm to him on the mound tonight than we've seen out of the bullpen.
Rays are getting ready for their next with action in the pen. No, I ran this by Aaron Boone today. The Yankees have two pitchers that have not had full seasons in a long time in their rotation, Severino and Cortez. Fly ball. Hicks there. And I said, would you consider going to a 6-man rotation? And he said, no, not really. He said, because now with the 13 pitcher limit, if you decide to go to that 6-man rotation, you're robbing your bullpen of one pitcher. He said, now we'll skip over every now and then. We'll give them an extra day like we flip-flop Cole and Cortez. We're going to give them whatever time that we think that they need. He said, but we have not considered a 6-man rotation. The Angels are actually using a 6-man rotation.
Yes. Mainly to protect Ohtani, who was used to that routine in Japan.
And he said the old ways of thinking, though, with innings limits, he said, I don't know if it works. He said last year we were concerned with Tyone, and he blew past what we thought would be the limit and pitched much better after he got past that anyway. So I think people have reconsidered stuff like the Jabba rules. And what Aaron said is that with the advent of pitch shapes and how we could look through machines and how pitches are acting, we could see if someone's starting to fatigue.
It's a great point, Michael. Every pitch can be measured now. The release points, the biomechanics of every pitcher.
And that will tell you more than, okay, he could pitch 148 innings.
Exactly. It's much, much more revealing. If fatigue is setting in, it will show up on the metrics.
Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Margot at the plate. We're in the third. This will be Schmidt's 50th pitch of the night. Swing and a miss. That young man is pumped up. He's given the Yankees 3 shutout innings in an emergency spot. There for the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. This was during that delay when the umpires trying to figure out what was going on last night. And Rosarena just leaning against the fence in front of the Yankee dugout, having a casual conversation with Cortez. Now, I mentioned it yesterday. Kind of odd to see that. So I brought it up to Aaron Boone today. Aaron was, he's on every Thursday at 4 o'clock on my radio show on 98.7 and on Yes, the simulcast. And I said, did you have a problem with that? And he said, first of all, I didn't see it when it was happening. He said, but I did see it when I watched the game again. He said, not a big deal. He said, but I will give it a little bit to Nestor today and say, did you take him to dinner afterwards? Something like that. So it was noted. I don't think it really bothered Boone that much, but it was something that caught his attention.
Yeah, no, it's a different game nowadays. They're probably talking about Cuban coffee.
Could be.
Well, guys, the funniest thing in that is nothing really bothers you when you're winning the way the Yankees are winning. But Nestor Cortez was in the clubhouse earlier today, and we asked him about it. And he said the funniest thing is he doesn't know a Rosarena. You thought the Cuban descent that maybe they had a history there. He had never met him before. It was a Rosarena that came over during that long 16-minute delay and said, hey, how you doing? I can't get a hit off of you. And Cortez said, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep trying to get you out. And they had a couple words. He said he was very nice, but that was the first time that he had met him.
That makes it all the more odd. They didn't know each other.
They knew of each other, but they hadn't actually had a conversation prior to that.
A little gamesmanship, huh? Trying to disarm Nasty Nestor.
New pitcher for the Rays, Matt Whistler. And he has a 1-1 count on Kiner Falefa.
The first time I had to face the Yankees when I went to Boston that one year and Derek Jeter stepped in the batter's box the first at bat, he would not get in the box until I looked at him, trying to disarm me, and he made a funny face at me, and it worked. I had my game face on. I didn't want to think about Derek Jeter, the guy that that I'd won 4 championships with. And he just made this goofy face at me, and I just completely got disarmed by it. He ended up hitting a rocket in the gap off of me.
Method to his madness.
Yeah, that's what was going on.
Fly ball. Phillips. I'm curious, Meredith. Did he think it was odd to have happen during a game?
He said he wasn't necessarily expecting it. He didn't think too much of it as it was happening because it was a very long delay, and it's not like he crossed over and went to the other dugout just to say hello to him. He kind of just stopped by the Yankees dugout. He did say he heard a little bit about it on Twitter. Not sure if everyone was pleased with him. He's aware of it, but didn't think too much of it at the time.
Gotcha.
And what are you going to say, Michael? Please leave the railing, go back to your base, even though there's a delay.
It is interesting, though, because these two teams have not gotten along the last couple of years. You know, stable of arms and that stuff. You know, it was just a little odd to see. Bank of America, impressive tools, and Trevino, the bat's been an impressive tool. Last 19 games, 415, 5 homers, and 15 ribbies. Great OPS. Deep to left, but foul. You'd be amazed at the amount of work that players put into their game. So I'm walking from where our production trucks are about a half hour before the game to make my way back up to the booth. And the Yankees have built this indoor cage where catchers can be videotaped and full uniform. A half hour before the game, Trevino there. Short hops, blocking them off of the machine, and that's a half hour before the game even began. Fly ball left field, a Rosarena. 2 outs.
Yeah, right in the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
Right in the bowels of Yankee Stadium here.
There's Joey Gallo. On the bottom of the third, 0-0. So Beeks gave Tampa Bay 2 perfect innings. And now with Gallo up, they go to 4 outfielders with Whistler on the mound.
Remember when Joe Madden was managing the Rays, they were one of the first ones to employ some of these funky looking shifts, changing different counts. If the count got to 2 strikes, a third baseman and a second baseman would shift, and now it's commonplace.
And then the weirdest thing, he was like at the forefront of the use of analytics and things like that. And when he got let go by the Angels, he said, there's just too much information, people telling you what to do. He said, they don't let you manage by the gut. So the guy who kind of invented Frankenstein's monster got taken down by it.
Very ironic.
Popped up. Only one who could get near it is Mejia, but it's in the seats. It was a happy fan who brought his glove, pumped up. Oh, yeah. 2-2.
Well, Jalen Beeks did his job in 2 innings as the opener, and Whistler's always had good spin on his slider. A lot of breaking balls.
Swing and a miss. Gallo down on strikes. Yankees down in order. We go to the 4th. Sportsbook. Right now there's no runs on the board, so the over-under is 5.5, and the over of 5.5 is -113. Under is also -113. Odds subject to change. Right now, new customers get $200 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now and start making every moment more. All right, so the Yankees put their new pitcher right to work, and that's why they brought him up. And here is Ryan Weber, 31 years old. This is what he's done in AAA. 4 starts, 4 out of the bullpen. Doesn't walk many, has good control. 21 1/3 innings, 15 strikeouts. Been in the majors 8 years, 6 teams.
Yeah, been around the block. Throw strikes, kick ground balls. That's why he's up here.
And Choi shows bunt, takes outside. So Weber signed with the Yankees on March 13th. Split time between the bullpen and the rotation for the Rail Riders. First big league game since July 28th last year with Seattle. He had 4 appearances last year with 3 teams: Seattle, Boston, and Milwaukee. From Clearwater, Atlanta, Seattle, Tampa Bay, Boston, Milwaukee. 22nd round pick in 2009 by the Braves.
Now, St. Petersburg College there has a good little program. A lot of college players end up there rather than, a bigger school or Division I, but it does well there. They produce some players out of there. A good caliber of competition.
And there's a strike. So since 2015, there have been nearly 600 pitchers to throw 150 innings. And he has a 5.4% walk rate. And that's in the top 50 in baseball. And he also throws ground balls, as David said, 54.1% ground ball rate, also top 50.
Almost 17 inches of horizontal movement on that last fastball.
Grounded to LeMahieu. One away. Meredith, what do you have as the scouting report?
Well, Michael, I asked Aaron Boone what we can expect from Weber, and he just mentioned the fact that he is a guy that brings tons of experience. He's not going to be overpowering out there, but he knows how to pitch. He'll move the ball around, change speeds a ton, and he'll be comfortable in any situation. And Aaron Boone really liked what the Yankees saw from him throughout spring training, felt as though he fit into the clubhouse extremely well, and a guy that can certainly give them some length here this evening, which they may need.
1-0 on Diaz, who singled to right in the first inning. That was against Schmidt. Schmidt has to be feeling pretty good right now. Stepping in, taking the start, 3 shutout innings, and we told you, his aspiration is to be a starter in the big leagues, but you pitch out of the bullpen just to stay in the big leagues. Two and one.
When you're looking at sinker ball pitchers, you watch his front shoulder. It's kind of just a pick it up and put it down, but he kind of gets open quickly so that he can get inside the baseball and make it move. Sort of the opposite of Mariano Rivera, who stayed close a real long time and threw cutters. This is the opposite. He's looking for the opposite side style of movement too.
Big breaking ball fouled away.
Generally speaking, four-seam fastball power pitchers stay closed a little longer and land a little closed. Sinker ballers like Weber will land a little bit open and leak a little bit with their front shoulder, kind of open up a bit in order to get inside a two-seam fastball and promote movement.
Grounded and grabbed there by a diving Donaldson. Fires to first. Nice play. 2 down.
Well, there is no doubt the left side of the Yankees infield this year has converted a lot more outs than last year. And Donaldson has been excellent at third, as well as DJ LeMahieu when he's been over there. So between them, it's almost Gold Glove caliber. That's good range there.
And that's a lot of arm because he couldn't really step into that throw he threw from his knee. Rosarena swings and misses.
So a lot of different ways to measure defense. Range factor, converted outs, ground balls converted into outs. Just about all of them have the Yankees pegged as much better this year.
Strike 3. Rosarena down looking. Weber with a 1-2-3 inning here in the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Their third straight Stanley Cup final. What 3 major league franchises have reached 3 straight World Series since 1961? Now, could one franchise be 2 answers? Chop back to the mound. And LeMahieu is retired. Yankees have yet to have a base runner. So we know one of the teams because you were on it. Now it says it's 3 separate franchises, but since 61, so Yankees 62, 63, 64 made the World Series 3 times. Oh, okay, they did it several. Okay. Gotcha. And 76, 77, and 78.
There's not too many dry spells in the history of this franchise, is there?
Judge takes high.
I mean, you think of it right now. When's the last time the Yankees? 09 World Series?
Yep.
That's considered a drought here, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, the lengthy drought was from 81 to when you guys made it in 96.
In the World Series in 96 at the old stadium, the upper deck was literally shaking in Game 6. I thought it was going to come down, Michael. I really did. And people were jumping up and down.
If it didn't come down in 95 when Mattingly ran the wind sprints before Game 1, I think it was structurally safe. But it did. I think it was built that way to be able to withstand it, that it bounced a little bit.
It was bouncing that day when that 300-pound block fell down. Yes. They had to go over play at Shea.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, nobody was here.
The 3-1 to Judge. There's a strike, 3-2.
And of course, when we went over and played that game, Darryl Strawberry hit a home run at Shea as a member of the Yankees.
Didn't the apple come halfway up?
It did. They didn't know what to do with it, so they kind of came halfway up.
And I'm sure you remember this too, David, when the stadium was cleared as being safe the first game back. George Steinbrenner sat in the exact seat where the concrete landed during the game to show everybody, look, I'm sitting here.
Yes. Classic.
So here's Anthony Rizzo. Fly ball to center in the first inning. We're in the bottom of the fourth. 0-0. You know, we talk about the home run by Darrow, so why don't we take a look at it? When the Yankees had to play this game at Shea, and they're in a home white pinstripes, it was a home game for them against the Angels. And it stopped right there. Darrow had the flair for the dramatic. High fly ball, right center. Phillips back on the track. He'll make the catch in front of the wall as Judge heads back.
You think somebody's up there on a button pushing it and somebody else is grabbing them going, no, 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 back down? I mean,
Could have been.
What happened there?
Well, you see, they stopped it before it said Mets.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Just showed the New York skyline.
Yes.
So here's Giancarlo Stanton. You mentioned 96, and on this date in 96, the voice of the Yankees, Mel Allen, passed away at the age of 83. And very few broadcasters have had a run like Mel Allen had. He broadcasted 22 World Series. So he was the voice of the Yankees from 39 to 64. And then George Steinbrenner brought him back when the Yankees were on Sports Channel, and he did games from 1978 through 86. And that is the voice of the Yankees. Anybody else behind this mic, we're just renting that title. Mel Allen, voice of the Yankees.
With a southern draw, too, right?
Yep, yep. Runner goes, throw to second. It's a stolen base for Judge.
By any means necessary for Aaron Judge this year. You need me to play center field? I got you. You need me to hit homers? I got it. You need me to steal a bag? Check.
Going to result in a big check.
And a little trick slide on the end, too. Yeah. His money's going to fold, too.
1-1. A lot of people were impressed with your line yesterday.
TikTok, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, well, actually, Instagram. More Instagram, I think. We should do a video up here.
Let's do it. Three and one on Stanton. Well, he seems like he is certainly dominated against sliders.
Is that a lot, Michael? 93.5%?
Yeah, I think so. And the elbow says it's a lot. Out the slider back.
Pretty good swing at that one.
So Judge is in scoring position. It's 0-0, bottom of the fourth. Stanton's hitting .348 with runners in scoring position this year. And the full count delivery. Foul back. Another slider. Line drive. Oh, snared by Bruhan. Taking RBI single away from Stanton, who hit it right on the screws. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. Now, if Mel was on the mic, he would have said, "How about that?" Well, thank you, Bob. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Brett Phillips takes the ball from Ryan Weber in his 2nd inning of work. And there's ball 2 to Phillips as he leads off here in the 5th. Hit shortly and backhanded beautifully by Rizzo. Flips to Weber. One away. Let's take a little trip around the majors. Tyler Anderson lost a no-hitter with 1 out in the 9th inning. A triple by Ohtani. The Braves don't lose. 14-game win streak. They're now 4 behind the Mets in the NL East. And Jose Ramirez, you might want to renegotiate that deal. What a season he's having. And that's just the last 8 games right there.
No, it's him and Judge in the MVP race, like 1 and 2.
There's a strike to Harold Ramirez. One and one.
You know, I was watching that Dodgers game last night, Michael, and you could just see Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers. He was just sweating bullets because his pitcher is going to have to throw 130 plus pitches to finish that thing almost. You show the shots in between innings, and Anderson's just rubbing his arm like he's hurting. Pitching coach is sweating bullets. The manager, it's a nightmare for managers nowadays.
You know, it's such a strange thing that, I mean, in reality, the managers they're rooting for a hit, so they're not put in that situation.
Of course, after the Kershaw perfect game that he got pulled out of earlier this year, Dave Roberts was not going to yank out another pitcher.
2-2. Chopped to short and booted by IKF. That'll be an E6. I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I'm not a good official scorer. We'll see if they score that a hit, but that's a play he has to make. It scored a hit.
He had to come get it.
I mean, David, come on. The
Home
big
cooking?
leagues.
Home cooking right there?
Well, you're giving a hit to Weber. I mean, why should he have to give him a hit?
Yeah, there's always somebody on the other end.
Wow. Billy Altman is the official scorer tonight.
I'm waving at him right now. Hi, Billy.
Werner goes. Throw to second. Got him. Oh, that erases whether it was a hit or an error.
Trevino on one knee, but gets up, and pop time is pretty good there. And that's the one thing when you see catchers down on one knee for framing reasons, to be able to pop up and throw. Well done by Trevino there. You can see on a pitch that wasn't that easy to handle. He's fired up. Catchers take that personally. What a storybook year for him so far.
That one's drilled right down the right field line, and it is gone. Mejia makes it 1-0 Rays. First damage on the board. The home run by Mejia is third of the year. That breaks an 0 for 15 slide for him.
Found the happy zone down and into a left-handed batter in this ballpark. Trevino setting up away. Look at him reach over to the end, inside corner.
Strike to Walls. Grounded to short. Backhanded by Kiner Falefa. And they just get the hustling Walls for the final out. 1 run, 2 hits, and nobody left. We're halfway through. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Yankees take on the Astros for a Nasty Nestor night. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Nasty Nestor Cortez t-shirt courtesy of Ford. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today, Yankees.com. There's Nestor. Got the win in last night's game. Yankees trail 1-0 in this one. Bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher, it's Brooks Raley. He's closed some games. He has 3 saves on 4 opportunities. This will be his 21st game of the year.
You know, the Rays invented this bullpenning thing, so they've got it down. Mixing it up, lefty, righty, back to a lefty.
Donaldson, Hicks, and Kiner Falefa. Raley, 33 years old, and he was with the Astros the last 2 years. Became a free agent. Never thought he was going to hear from the Rays because they have a very deep bullpen. But he became a priority for them. He signed a 2-year, $10 million deal. So 33 years old, 5th big league season. And in the middle of those years, as Donaldson swings and misses, he spent 7 years between big league appearances, 5 of them in South Korea.
It's a well-earned contract that he received here.
Yankees have not picked up a hit against Rays pitching tonight. They've had 1 base runner, the walk to Judge in the 4th. They got out hit last night as well. Rays have 3 hits tonight. Yankees have none. But Aaron Boone always says it's not a hitting contest, it's a scoring contest. Ground ball, base hit. There it is. The first hit. A single by Hicks.
Looked like he was trying to do that the whole time. Looks out over the plate, lets the ball travel a little deeper, shoots it through the hole.
So here's IKF. Pitch is high, 1-0. Raley has a little bit of a Yankee connection. Thompson getting ready. His older brother Russell was a second baseman drafted by the Yankees in the 21st round in 2006. 2 minor league seasons, one in Staten Island and then Trenton and Tampa. This could be 2. There's 1 on to first. It's a double play. So a 4-6-3 double play ends the inning. We go to the 6th. Playing their 3rd straight Stanley Cup final. They lost game 1 yesterday. What 3 major league franchises have reached 3 straight World Series since '61? Well, the Yankees have done it 3 times. The A's won 3 straight World Series.
Yes.
And I think the other one might be the Orioles.
Gotta be.
Yeah, there you go.
I wouldn't have got the Orioles. I knew the A's.
Yeah, and the A's did it twice. When they won 3 in a row and then they won 1 out of the 3 when they beat the Giants when La Russa was the manager. Montefiore scoreboard, 1-0 Rays.
And then Charlie Finley didn't want to give him a raise, right? Start breaking it up.
And also, that's when free agents started to happen.
Yeah, there you go. That's when George Steinbrenner started to happen, too, shortly thereafter.
Brujan pops one up. And Hicks calls off Connor Falefa. 1 out. The 2022 Chevrolet MLB All-Star Ballot now open. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote to send your favorite New York Yankee players to Los Angeles this summer. I was talking to the guy that Aaron Boone calls the best reliever in baseball, Clay Holmes, and he said that it would be one of the biggest honors that he can even think of is to make the American League All-Star team.
Oh, he's going to make it. It's the most talked about pitch in the big leagues is his demon sinker.
And I asked him today if he had a problem pitching high leverage situations and not getting the quote unquote save, and he said, as long as it's part of a winning game, that's all I care about. Marinaccio getting ready. And also, Boone clarified what he meant by that too. He said, listen, if we're facing the Blue Jays and Vlad's coming up in that part of the order, he said, if that's the biggest part of the game, the 8th inning, I'm bringing him in then. He said, but that doesn't mean he's not going to close. He said he's going to have the most important spots because he's earned it. Ground ball. Going to be a tough play, and they make it. Rizzo with a good feed to Weber.
Rizzo and Weber got a couple of plays going on here. Weber right where he's supposed to be. You see it, you go. Look at that break. That's how you do it, young kids. If you're a pitcher, no hesitation, get over there. Find the bag and the ball.
So here's G-Man Choi. Take a look at the Indeed player resume on G-Man Choi. 31 years old, 7th big league season. Did play for the Yanks. AL pennant with the Rays in 2020, and he had 6 games with the Yankees in 2017. Also found out this invaluable information, David. So when Boone's not thinking about baseball, thinking about his lineup for the next day and the pitching that he's going to use, he unwinds by watching episodes of Friends. And his 2 favorite characters in order, Rachel and Joey. It's the kind of stuff we give you.
His escape, right? Just
it's his, yes.
pop in the DVD or whatever, or go to streaming, or...
Ground ball to first, and another connection. Rizzo and Weber. Rays go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th. the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta keep climbing. And by Ford, the official SUV of the New York Yankees. Montefiore scoreboard, 1-0 Tampa Bay on the Mejia home run. I'm telling you, we have to convince the powers that be we want to do a game from out there.
I agree. I'm all for it.
There's a strike. Or maybe we could do it from where you actually appeared on Yes for the first time, right in the middle of the bleacher creatures in right center.
That's right.
You were sitting there as a fan, but we mic'd you up.
You mic'd me up, and I didn't realize at that point in my young broadcasting career that there's a little button where you can turn off the mic. So it was red all day long.
That one's driven deep to left field. That ball is a foul ball.
One of the things Trevino's done so well this year in his offensive side is get the head out. He's looking to pull. Very aggressive. If you watch him in batting practice, he's got some pop, Michael. He regularly loses several balls.
1-2.
So it's not like, you know, he's a backup catcher just trying to play pepper or shoot the ball the other way. He's looking to do damage. Trying to get the barrel of the bat out in front and get it in the air.
Grounded right back to Raley. One away here in the sixth. Well, tonight, Sabrina Ionescu and the Liberty are taking on the Washington Mystics. Keep an eye on the game streaming now on the Yes app, or watch it in its entirety following Yankees coverage on Yes. Just a heads up, Ionescu is one of the greatest basketball players in the world. She plays for the Liberty, so you could see her on Yes or the Yes app.
Saw where Sue Bird announced her retirement too, right? Going to play one more year, or this is the last year?
This is the last year. What a career. Pitch to Gallo. Here's a strike.
Ryan Rucco introduced me to Sue Bird. So impressive. I'm such a fan. So nice too. Very classy.
Oh, 0-2.
Her and Ryan Rucco are tight. They're sharing. I think he's renting or staying, or she's staying at his place or something.
No, he's renting her place.
He's renting her place.
Yeah. Before he moves into his house.
That's right.
I love the fact that she is charging him an incredibly high rent. He's got coin, fold, as you say.
Yes.
Strike three. Gallo down looking. That looks like it's going to be it for Raley with LeMahieu coming up. So Kevin Cash piecing this one together through the bullpen. 2 outs in the 6th. Yankees are down 1-0. Travel north for a weekend set against the Toronto Blue Jays. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30. And then we'll all be there for the first pitch shortly after 7 on Yes and the Yes app. Ryan Thompson. Numbers not as good as they've been in the past, but he is tough on righties.
It's the life of a reliever. 1 or 2 bad outings can really shoot your ERA up. It can take you 6 weeks to get it back down.
Slim right-hander facing LeMahieu. 1-0.
Looked like DJ LeMahieu got a haircut. Did you see him take his helmet off there?
We both did today.
Cleaned it up. You did too?
Oh, yeah. Big road trip.
Did you see where Joe Madden got a mohawk
Yes.
right before he got fired and his team never saw it?
Yeah, it was to motivate his team. They never got motivated. 2-0. Trying to nail that inside corner, keeps missing. 3-0. I want it to look like, there's a bald spot there. That's the headset.
You still got hair.
Thank you. Goes with the breaking ball as LeMahieu works a walk. And now Thompson will have to face Aaron Judge.
That brings up Yankees center fielder, number 99, Aaron Judge. Number 99.
Judge has walked and stolen a base. Also grounded back to the pitcher, so he's 0 for 1. One swing, and the Yankees could have a lead. Unable to clip that inside corner. 1-0.
Struggling with his command a little bit. I mentioned with Thompson, 11 of his 14 earned runs given up this year in the last 3 games. And then AL all-time, 25 homers and 53-plus runs. Aaron Judge.
Breaking ball misses inside again. 2-0. And that's going to necessitate a mound visit. You know what happened on this day, David, in 1997?
No.
First Subway Series game.
Wow.
And you know what happened in that game?
Yes.
Dave Malicki.
The shutout.
Yep.
I remember that whole series so well. I mean, it was at Yankee Stadium. It was half full with Mets fans. It was the first time we'd ever seen that. It really was remarkable.
Yeah, when it first started, it was definitely an event. I think the World Series of 2000 took a little bit of the luster away from it because you realized how big it was when they played in it. It was for a championship. Throws a strike there, so whatever Snyder said worked.
Judge doesn't like the call. Thompson working the front door on that slider.
Now see the young lady behind the plate. She has the iPhone up right over the S in tickets right there. She's taping this for a home run. There it is. See, right on the Judge line. There she goes. Every pitch. I don't think she does that for every single player.
No, yeah, Aaron Judge. It's that type of year.
And a walk to Judge. Now remember, Thompson has to face 3 batters, and now he has to deal with the lefty Rizzo with runners on first and second.
Just 2 strikes from Thompson out of those 10 pitches thrown so far.
There's a tying run. LeMahieu at second, Judges at first. It's 1-0 Rays, bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees have just 1 hit. That's a Hicks single with 1 out in the 5th. There's a strike. See, the phone's down for Rizzo. He could hit a home run, too. Or get a base hit. That's going to tie the game. LeMahieu scores. Judge goes to third. It's an RBI single for Rizzo. And we are knotted at 1.
Rizzo wakes up the crowd. Another slider from Thompson stays up and out over the plate. And Rizzo in RBI mode goes out and hooks it. Finds the outfield grass.
.42 ribby, and that knocks Thompson out of the game. It's a 1-1 game. Kevin Cash goes to the bullpen again. Stanton's coming up, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. Stay here. Presented by Spectrum Mobile. Go to SpectrumMobile.com today. This was in the 4th inning, and a bullet off the bat of Stanton right into the glove of Brujan. It was 118.8 miles per hour off the bat.
Did you see the pitcher duck after the ball was already by him? I mean, I flinched up here on that line drive.
All right, so 3 straight Yankees have reached after 2 of the first 18 reached. And listen, this is just a blatant second guess, but Brooks Raley is dealing. There's 2 outs and nobody on. LeMahieu's not necessarily a power hitter, and that's when you go to Thompson. Now it ends up not working out. Thompson has had control issues all year, but that's the route that Kevin Cash decided to take rather than to squeeze 1 more out of Raley. But I'm sure this has all been documented before the game, how they would attack it.
Yes, I mean, they had the lanes they wanted, but it also shows the value of a left-handed batter, Rizzo, right in the middle of Judge and Stanton.
First and 3rd, 2 men out. Game is tied at 1, bottom of the 6th inning. Outside from Jason Adam. Now Adam has a 0.72 ERA, and that's 2nd in the American League of any pitcher with 25 innings or more. Clay Holmes has the best ERA, 0.29. He hasn't given up a run since opening day. What a signing this has been for the Rays. 1-year, $900,000 deal on March 17th. Just as bullpen depth, and he's been way more than that. One and one on Stanton. Runner goes from first. Check swing. He goes around. Stolen base for Rizzo. No throw. And the count 1-2.
I trust you, Michael. I was looking at the scoreboard. They got it wrong on the scoreboard.
Fixing it now. All right, big spot in this game. 2nd and 3rd, 2 men out. 1-2 count on Stanton. straight back.
Wow. What a vicious swing on a hanging slider. Goodness gracious. Straight back.
Ground ball. Walls fields. And Adam gets a big out to keep the game tied as the Yankees strand 2, but they score 1. We go to the 7th. Yes, as first place NYCFC puts their 8-game unbeaten streak on the line against Colorado. Game coverage presented by Montefiore begins at 5 on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. And you can also catch the NYCFC pregame exclusively on the Yes app beginning at 4:30 in the afternoon. Cadillac scoreboard. 1-3-0 for Tampa Bay, 1-2-0 for the Yankees. Yankees trying to sweep this 3-game set. Tampa Bay looking to salvage 1 game. Ryan Weber deals. Diaz grounds to short. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Nice clean infield skin out there as the grounds crew, as they normally do, and after the 6th inning, go kind of rake the infield dirt out there, make it nice, and I'm sure Kiner Falefa enjoyed that. Nice clean hop he got.
Here's a Rosarena. Marinaccio has been throwing. Breaking ball misses. Clark Schmidt started in place of Luis Severino, who was placed on the COVID IL. Doesn't have COVID, but was feeling under the weather. And Schmidt gave them 3 scoreless innings, and now Ryan Weber, this is his 4th inning of work.
Mattress Firm's Season of Dreams sweepstakes could take you to the All-Star Game. Go to MLB.com/Season of Dreams to view official rules and to enter the Season of Dreams sweepstakes today.
The 2-2. Swing and a foul ball.
Kind of nice to see a journeyman reliever come up and get another shot to pitch in the big leagues, and straight finesse too. In an era where all these relievers are throwing 100 miles an hour, that Weber gets a shot and barely sweating out there, making the ball move all over the place.
Popped up. Rizzo, 2 outs. Well, tomorrow night after the Yankees, stay tuned on Yes for a new episode of Forbes Sports Money. On this month's show, Michael Ozanian and Bob Lorenz talk global soccer club valuations, plus see an exclusive interview with the Cleveland Browns owners. That's tomorrow at 11 after Yankees coverage on Yes and the Yes app. It's a good show. Well, I was going to do it for Weber. The Yankees have to be thrilled with that performance as Boone goes to the bullpen with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 7th. It's a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Well, the Yankees got a quality start. Just took them 2 guys to do it. It was a piggyback start. Clark Schmidt was outstanding. 5 strikeouts, several swing and misses. Ryan Weber back in the big leagues. Total finesse. 11 batted balls. He got 8 ground balls. Had some fun out there.
So here is Ron Marinaccio. This will be his 9th game. 14 strikeouts and 9 1/3. So he thought Marinaccio stuff matched up better with the lefty Phillips than Weber stuff. Foul back. Weber did give up the home run to the switch hitter Mejia, hitting from the left side.
Yeah, Weber's sinker ball probably matches Brett Phillips' playing a little better, so Marinaccio throwing 95 is a better fit.
Oh, and 2 on Phillips. Phillips is 0 for 2 tonight. 1 at bat against Schmidt and 1 at bat against Weber. Foul bat.
See, Ryan Weber's been around the block, and he knows enough to enjoy the moment right here. Did his job tonight.
Fly ball, left field. Hicks is there, and that'll do it here in the 7th as the Rays go down in order against 2 Yankee pitchers. At the end of 6 1/2, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. It's Cadillac game summary: 1-3-0 and 1-2-0 for the Yanks. Beeks went 2, Schmidt went 3, Mejia solo home run in the 5th, Rizzo RBI single in the 6th, and there's the scoring summary. Donaldson leads off against Adam, 1-0. Ripped into left center field. It is a base hit. Cutting it off in the gap is Phillips, firing in. It's a leadoff single for Donaldson.
Right on the button. Goes up and gets it. Laces it into the gap.
So here's Hicks. One and 0.
Hicks got the first hit of the game batting right-handed. Going to get a shot lefty here.
One.
Jason Adam, as a pitcher, you really have to stay back on. Throws a really good changeup that fades away from left-handed batters.
Hits are now even at 3 apiece with Donaldson's single. 1-1 game, bottom of the 7th inning. Now the Yankees have 7 series sweeps so far this season, and they are 7-4 trying to close out sweeps. So 11 opportunities. They've cashed in 7 of them, looking for the 8th sweep of the season. And there they are together again. Rizzo and Judge. Two and 2. Yankees are 16-2-2. 16 series wins, 2 losses, 2 splits. And the Rays are 4-2 in their last 8 series as they've started to slide with all the injuries. They started off 7-2 in series. Can they turn 2? There's 1. And there's 2. And the boos starting to get louder for Hicks.
Well, once there was 2 strikes, Tampa Bay could put Diaz over there closer to second base so they could turn this double play. Up until that point, before 2 strikes, Diaz had to play over closer to third base. So it's the only time that double play could have worked was with 2 strikes.
So it scored 6-5-2. Wall started it, flipped to Diaz, 6-5-3, and on to Ji-Man Choi. Popped up by IKF. Who's going to get it? Brujan calls off Choi, and that'll do it here in the 7th. Let's take it to the 8th. It's a 1-1 game. Stats. The Yankees third baseman, see this play here by Donaldson, 13 defensive runs saved this season. That's tied for the best among Major League third basemen with the Pirates.
Defensive runs saved is produced by Fangraphs.com if you want to go check it out. There's several metrics for defense nowadays. And Donaldson's responsible for 7 of those runs saved and LeMahieu 4. So combined, they got a gold glove working.
Bottom third of the order, starting with Ramirez against Marinaccio. High pop-up. Kiner Falefa puts it away. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So here's the Rays offense tonight. Francisco Mejia, solo home run in the 5th. Michael King heating up for the Yanks. Line foul. Poche getting ready for the Rays.
Down and in sinker. Mejia drops the barrel on it. First row of the second deck.
Oh, and 2.
Kind of the equivalent of the old stadium's upper deck, right? The second deck here.
Yep.
We haven't really seen any lefties challenge the third deck here this year.
Grounded. Rizzo grabs it and fires to Marinaccio. 2 away. Here's Taylor Walls. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Sporting the lowest batting average in the big leagues for anybody with 150 or more at bats. 5 for his last 35.
Marinaccio's got some piercing blue eyes, huh? Like Ray Liotta eyes.
Yes. One and one.
Just, all my life I wanted to be a gangster.
Now you're quoting somebody. You didn't feel that way.
Henry Hill.
All right.
Goodfellas.
One and 2 on Walls. Yankees have won 6 straight. 13 in a row here in the Bronx. And they're 13-1 in their last 14 games. Two and two.
And Marinacio's got a nice loose arm, mid to upper 90s, 3-pitch mix.
Swing and a miss on the change. And Marinaccio works a 1-2-3 8th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 1-1 game right here on Yes. In part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Hardball here, softball across the street where the old stadium used to stand. Oh, that's lined right to short. And they double him up. Got him. Nice play. And then back here on the other side of 161st and River, we got a game. Bottom of the 8th, 1-1.
Wind's picking up.
Colin Poche. The 6th Rays pitcher. It'll be Trevino, Gallo, and LeMahieu. Glaber will pinch hit for Gallo. Phillips right there, 1 out. So Torres sent up there for Gallo, 0 for 2. Gallo was with 2 strikeouts. Three infielders on the left side. Check swing.
Did we ever get an explanation what happened last night with Phil Cuzzy and the whole delay?
Yeah, they wanted to see when Choi was announced, and I guess they were looking at video.
That was just it, when he was announced.
So 2-0 on Torres. Big cut. 2-1 as the crowd here at the stadium doing the wave. Poche pitching in the big leagues for the first time since 2019. He missed the last 2 years with Tommy John surgery. Said he finally feels like a normal guy again this year. 2-1. 2-2.
95 miles an hour.
Hides the ball well in his delivery. His teammates say that he throws an invisible. So Torres pinch hitting for Gallo. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 game. Swing and a miss. High curveball swings through. 2 away.
It's not where he's trying to throw it. You could see Glaber sees it looks like it's high, and then he recognizes spin, and then emergency hack at the last minute, and he's late. Could see him kind of try to reload. Wasn't sure if that was going to be a strike or not.
So here's LeMahieu. He scored the only run for the Yankees in this game after he walked in the 6th with 2 outs. Ground ball, right side, moving to the glove side, Brujan. And Poche retires the Yankees in order, 1-2-3. Now the Yankees win this game. It's going to be in walk-off fashion as we go to the 9th. Highlights, analysis, and complete player reaction for tonight's series finale against the Rays, plus Aaron Boone on the manager's report. It's all coming up on the WB Mason Yankees postgame. 1-1 as we go to the 9th. Marwin Gonzalez takes over in right field as Glaber pinch hit for Gallo, and Michael King takes over on the mound. Well, you knew the way it set up that King was going to quote-unquote close this game because Holmes had pitched the previous 2 nights, and Boone does not like to use somebody 3 nights in a row. So King was the designated closer in all likelihood, and when you're tied at home, you bring in your closer in the 9th.
Yeah, we saw a little glimpse of King last year when he came back from his finger injury, of really down the stretch of showing some life. But he's a breakout star this year.
Top of the order for the Rays. It'll start with Brujan. Oh, and 1. Armstrong, we saw him yesterday, getting ready for the Rays. Schmidt, Weber, and Marinaccio has gotten the Yankees to the 9th, tied at 1, and that is a great accomplishment for Boone and his staff to lose Severino today to go on the COVID IL and bring a game that you have a chance to win into the 9th inning. One and 2.
Yeah, Clark Schmidt had great stuff. Ryan Weber's a great story.
And Marinaccio has piercing blue eyes.
He does.
And also pitched well. Fouled away.
I think the Yankees as an organization have to feel really good about their overall depth. And I know I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. He had Clark Schmidt ready to go here. He had other choices depending on how it lined up. J.P. Sears has been very impressive. I've mentioned a young lefty in AAA named Ken Waldichuk, who is something to watch right now. One of the best prospects in the minor leagues.
Swing and a miss. 97 miles an hour right by Brujan.
Up the ladder with 4-seam gas. He can sink it, he can ride it, he can slide it. That works. Right on by.
Here's Manuel Margot. Margot 0 for 3 tonight. Foul back. Bottom of the 9th inning. Well, that's who you want coming up. Judge, Rizzo, and Stanton. In all likelihood, they'll face that man, Sean Armstrong.
Those are 3 dudes, right? That's what Aaron Boone says. He's a dude. It's 3 dudes right next to each other.
Dialed it up to 98 there, 0-2.
There was some sink on that one. The subtle nuances of King's fastball. A little sink, high velocity, a little riding action on the four-seamer. Very effective.
Well, Margot's not getting cheated on his swing as he fouls off that curveball. Swing and a miss. Got him on the curve, 2 away.
Just a wicked breaking ball right here. Almost 84 miles an hour, but over 2,900 RPMs, just to show you how tightly that ball was spinning. That is in an elite category when you can throw that pitch right there with that kind of spin on it. Not too many people in this game can throw it like that.
(0-1) on Ji-Man Choi. Walked in the first, then grounded to second and grounded to first. 0-2. He has a 13-game hitting streak, possibly on the line. One and one.
Just to give you some context, Michael, the average spin rate on most sliders in the big leagues is around 2,400 RPMs. Michael King up closer to 3,000 RPMs. We saw Clark Schmidt with his knuckle curve over 3,000 RPMs. So just shows you the quality level of those breaking balls.
Pretty good quality fastball. 1-2. Crowd of 39,069, most of them standing, looking for strike three. Grounded foul.
I think the Yankees lead the American League in attendance this year so far, I believe.
Yep. They're fifth in baseball and first in the American League. Dodgers lead the majors in attendance.
13 straight wins here in the Bronx too, looking for 14.
Two balls, two strikes, two outs, two shakes by King. And now Choi said, well, that took too long. Let me step out. Skips rope to get out of the way. Being very careful with Choi, and that makes sense. One swing could do a lot of damage with this guy. Fouled away.
See the sequence. 4-seamers, curve, lawn dart changeup, and another 4-seamer.
And the payoff. He walked him. Ball comes back to Trevino, and Choi walks for the second time. And that'll bring up Diaz. Diaz 1 for 3, so he has one of the 3 Rays hits. Both teams with just 3 hits. 1-1 game, 9th inning. That clipped the outside corner with the curveball. 0-1.
He doesn't think so. From the overhead cam. Just a bit outside.
Checks the swing. Choi leads off first, held by Rizzo. And there's a strike. 1-2. Just got a piece.
Good little cat and mouse game going there with Trevino and King. Trevino standing up behind home plate Yogi Berra style as if a high fastball is coming, and then back down into the crouch for a slider. Sometimes hitters will peek with their peripheral vision to the catcher to see if they can pick up location.
Fly ball right field coming on. Gonzalez dives and he makes the play. He comes in to play right field and he just took a base hit away from Diaz. A sliding catch, hauling it in and taking it to the bottom of the ninth. And who's coming up in the bottom of the ninth? Guys that can end it with just one swing. Judge, Rizzo, and one more. This guy, Stanton, all coming up next. Golf, and now they're repeating it here in 2022. We've seen plenty of them, and that leads to all the success in the Bronx as well. Glaber's always right in the middle of it. And Judge against Romano, getting gritty with it. And then Trevino, he's owning the walk-off. A little Donaldson on an early Sunday morning game ends it in extra innings. Yeah, it's been that sort of year. One more by Trevino. Celebrate. Been a lot of it. That's why the Yankees have the best record in baseball by a lot. 7 walk-off wins this season. That's the most through 62 games since the year of the walk-off, 2009. Armstrong takes over. Judge leads off. Judge, Rizzo, Stanton. Judge 0 for 1, has walked twice and stole a bag. One and 0. 7th pitcher used by the Rays. Yankees looking for their 7th straight win. A bullpen game for both teams. Two and one.
Seems like every year Aaron Judge gets better at laying off of those type of pitches, sweeping out of the strike zone.
High drive. Ramirez there, and there's one out.
Just a little off the end of the bat.
Anthony Rizzo has driven in the only run for the Yankees with 2 outs. Drove in LeMahieu from second. A single to right center. His 42nd ribby of the year. After the game, the Yankees will head to Toronto for a 3-game set. Trying to fly there on the wings of a sweep. And the Rays will go to Baltimore to continue their road trip. Just missed outside, 1-1. Armstrong working from the stretch. 2-1.
It's the best part about Yankee Stadium in these moments, Michael, is the bleachers. They stand up. The bleacher creatures are on their feet. Really both sides anticipating maybe a fly ball heading their way. Nobody's sitting down there.
The 2-1. High fly ball, deep right center. There it goes. See ya. Ball game. Rizzo and the Yankees are in 7th heaven. They've won their 7th in a row as they sweep the Rays right out of the Bronx.
That's why you stand up in the bleachers. Rizzo knew it. The relaxed effort from Rizzo.
Ninth career walk-off for Rizzo. 5th home run into the Bronx night. Hashtag RepBX for sure. And when you walk it off here in the Bronx, you get a chance to talk to Meredith Marakovitz.
Thanks, Michael. Anthony, with the way this team has been playing, is there any doubt that you were going to find a way to get the job done tonight?
Man, our pitching staff just holding it down today with Sevy being sick. They just carry us the whole way, and our defense was phenomenal, and that's what's going to take us deep and do what we want to do, is pitching and defense. And nights we don't hit, we come through and we get the hits when we need to, and this place is a true home field advantage around the league, and the louder these fans get, the more advantage we have.
You step up to the plate in that situation thinking, I'm going to try to end this with one swing?
No, I saw the fastball there pretty good. The first pitch, took a good swing. So really just not trying to do too much. Try to hit a line drive, get on base, let Big G drive me in. But when it goes over, I just missed a few tonight. Felt really good all night. And, I mean, to do this here at Yankee Stadium is amazing.
Hey, back to the pitching staff for a second. How much credit do you give to Clark Schmidt, who just found out this afternoon he was starting, and Ryan Weber in particular?
Yeah, and Ronnie coming in. But these guys, you know, I feel like when they pitch in these big situations, we get the best out of them. And they're doing a great job in their roles, and when they need to step up, they step up big for us.
Speaking of getting the best, what do you think it is about playing here in the Bronx that seems to bring out the best in this team?
I just think we're really just inside that clubhouse, behind the closed doors, how much fun we have. You know, we're going to have a great plane ride tonight. Hopefully we can fly out with the weather, but the group of guys make it fun to come. Our coaching staff's been phenomenal, and the training staff from top to bottom.
Anthony, thanks for the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Also want to say shout out to my wife. She's in Italy, so hopefully she wakes up to a nice surprise.
Hopefully she's watching in Italy or listening to Susan Waldman on the radio. Michael, back to you.
Oh, what a night. What a season so far for the Yankees. With that swing, the Yankees go 31 games over 500. They win their 7th straight. They win their 14th straight in the Bronx. Guys in the dugout jump over that little fence and celebrate again. Another walk-off here in the Bronx, and it's turning, David, into a real magical season.
Well, it really is. Things are just breaking right. 392 feet right there. The game winner.
2-1. Yankees win. On to Toronto on the wings of a sweep.